Collected everything but the 2 ghosts. That was good. So it looks like he does have a couple still in there. These 2 right here, right? That is 400. That's a mothership. That's 400 minerals, 400 gas. Ridiculous. I can't believe how much they make them cost. But you know what? It's a good thing because I mean they have EMP. Come on, you have a unit with EMP rounds. It's absurd, and it shows because when you watch the battles, I mean, if he's got EMP and enough energy, there go the High Templar, there go the shields. See, that's why you can't go Immortals against Terran who have ghosts because right, Immortals. The whole point of the shield is to deflect high amounts of damage, right? So when like the Marauders and stuff are attacking, they do less damage to the Immortals. That's great, but only when they have their shield up. So as soon as the snipers, the ghosts, do their EMP round, there's no more shield. Well, you know what? They lose their ineffectiveness completely. So they're ineffective. They lose their effectiveness completely. Oh, storm going up before the EMP rounds go off. It looks like EMP landing over here, another one over here, and that's going to be it for the High Templar. Although a couple were in the back, so I think no. Oh, they get caught in the EMP, and though look at that, iNcontroL somehow managing to take it all out. It must have been because of the zealots with charge. I mean, you know, I think charge is underrated, but really it's quite a good ability to have. And oh, storm going off, but not capturing. Or landing on the Banshees, and that means these Banshees are just going to tear up this force completely, unless he doesn't get the Archon. That's now, yeah, he does manage to get it. So he takes out one of them. Looks like there's another one warping in, hidden under the command center. He's going for the High Templar, though. He wants to pick him off. And oh, Stalkers coming in. Stalkers will rip Banshees apart in bigger numbers, and as will Archons with their 31 damage against mechanical units. That's pretty crazy. And what's even more crazy, plus 12 against biological. Ridiculous, but crappy range as usual. But we're used to that, so that's not a big deal. And oh, that command center might start. Oh, it is burning, but he's not too far. He could repair it in time. However, he's got to start heading down. Command centers burn down, or buildings in general burn down really fast these days. All the time. I mean, looks like we have an observer in LzGaMeR's base, not telling a whole bunch, except for the fact that he's mined out, and iNcontroL has since gotten up his, or started getting up his high yield again, and just better units right here. Although he's gonna have to back off. LzGaMeR with the planetary fortress, that thing is absurd, doing crazy damage, 40 damage a shot with good range, 6 range. The only thing that can outrange it is like the Colossus and really, I think that's it. Stalkers have 6 rate. Yeah, that's it on the Protoss side. Although, oh no! Oh, we almost missed. Look at this. That Nexus is going to go. Oh, it goes down. I don't know if he canceled it or not. It looks like he did not. He did not. He lost all those units. And there's no observers over here. And still, I can't believe this. I gotta say, I think that is a little bit of a mistake in this game. For the cost of the upgrade, he should totally have warp gate technology. I mean, it's so worthwhile. It's not even a question whether to get it or not. So instead, he's going to distance mine. But you know what? He's distance mining from the high yield. It's not really that far. I mean, of all bases to have to mine at a distance, not that bad. So certainly, it looks like iNcontroL gonna come out ahead here as we have SCVs not distance mining from the high yield for LzGaMeR. Looks like instead he's gonna try to build a command center there, and that may be a bad idea because that's an investment of 400, and so that means that he can't build anything else until that time period, while he's going up against another unit player distance mining. You know, I don't know. It's a hard call. If he can defend it. Oh, and here are the Ravens coming out on the field. That's going to be fun to watch. You know what? No, I take that back. It is a good idea to mine it out. It looks like he's going to both distance mine, even with some mules. So this is very clever, and build that base. And you know what? He has to hope that he can defend it anyway, because if he doesn't, he's not going to win the game. He's going to lose the game. So look at this. We got a nice unit composition here, a lot of Templar. And the question is, we have a Ghost in the making. So it's all going to come down to EMP. Is he going to be able to get an EMP off? I don't see any Ghosts in this grouping over here. It's hard to tell when they're all grouped together, you know? Like, how do you pick out the Ghost? But it looks like we're not going to have time to see. Oh, the Ghost actually gets it off. He gets it off on most of them. I don't know if he got all of them, and this could be the final battle right here. Oh man, LzGaMeR, the thing is, those Marauders are making everything get stunned, and while they're stunned, they obviously run faster, so it's amazingly effective against taking out units running away, and it looks like iNcontroL just going to try to battle it out, throwing the probes in. That's not going to happen. GG coming from iNcontroL. Man, that was a good game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Finally seeing some Ravens pop out at the end, dropping a couple of auto turrets. That's cool. And you know what? I really think most of this loss came from the lack of warp gates. And the thing is, they're really underrated by some people. Not saying that iNcontroL underrates them by any means, but they can be underrated because, again, he'd be able to defend anywhere he's got a pylon. He could just warp in like however many warp gates he has, assuming they're on cooldown. The thing is, you can use your chrono boost to hurry up on that cooldown. So it's a tough call. The other thing that's really interesting about Protoss late game, and I'm not knocking iNcontroL at all because really I think almost all Protoss players tend to do this. It's almost like you forget about chrono boost, or I mean I know it plays a lot less of a role towards the end of the game when you're close to maxed or anything like that, but say you just lose your entire army, right, and you start remaking it, and whether you have warp gates or not, you can chrono boost all of them. And that means you'll make one way or the other. You're making units faster because you either chrono boost the cooldown that goes across the units that you see, or just they make faster out of the gateways. So it's interesting to see that. Obviously, if you see all the bars up, if I press, I never do this, but if you hold Alt, all of the bars come up. But if you look, ideally, right, as a Protoss player, you want this never to be full, because once it's full, it loses its effectiveness. It means that you're missing, whatever time period that this has been, could have been gaining magic. Because obviously, if you can keep it around the 50 range, that's ideal, because it means you have a couple stored up, as well as you're constantly gaining new. So it's another like resource to think about as a Protoss player, and I just think it's going to take a while for all Protoss players to really become effective at it. So yeah, all right. Well, that's all I'm going to talk about for this game. It's been long enough. It's a half-hour game, so let me process this. But you know what? I got another fun one coming up after this. I'm going to do these two players that we just watched fight against each other are going to team up in the next game that I do, assuming that LzGaMeR actually sends me the replay like he said he was gonna. Son of a bitch. And it's going to be a fun game because it supposedly is an epic 2 versus 2 against the top 2 American Warcraft 3 players. So we're going to have a Starcraft versus Warcraft battle in all of its glory. And man, I am excited. I cannot wait for it. So hope you enjoyed it. GG!